Should we?
No, we're
see
good.
if these are working.
They are.
Okay.
9:30 p.m. Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Episode number 966 of Yeah Dude. My name is Jonathan. This is Seth. Hello, Seth.
Jonathan, 966 episodes of Yeah Dude. Thank you so much for joining us. If it's February 7th of 2023, that tells me that we are in the midst of a joyous celebration. A celebration of friendship, of artistry, of laughter, of community, of new technology. I have a chat GPT by OpenAI, released November 30th, 2022. It's about time a free verse poem about Yeah Dude was sent to us from a listener. It's about time. Didn't have chat GPT in February of 2006 when we started the show. Didn't have a lot of things.
We had each other.
And then that's the truth. There was one constant. That we had each other. February 11th, 2006, February 11th, 2023. What if I told you then, in 17 years when we're doing 966, you'll just be able to, your poetry, well, what I would think is I'd tell you your poetry will become obsolete, but having just done your poetry and looking at these chat GPT, we know that there is no algorithm. There is no...
They're not even... The algorithm's not even close.
There's no system close. Oh, yeah, dude. That's the thing to say when words just can't convey the way you feel, the thoughts in your head. Oh, yeah, dude. That's what you said. It's a phrase that's simple yet profound, a nod to the unspoken, a common ground, a way to say, I hear you, I'm with you. Oh, yeah, dude. It's the thing to do. It's a way to express agreement without the need for further comment. A way to show support and care. Oh, yeah, dude, always there.
Oh, have I heard this? This is so good.
So when you're at a loss for words, just say it out loud. Let it be heard. Oh, yeah, dude, you've got this. It's a simple phrase, but it's pure bliss. Free verse, a bit basic for our tastes. but nonetheless,
appreciated.
Incredibly appreciated. It's amazing what they can do. What they're doing.
They.
Skynet.
Right.
5G. Deep fakes.
Fucking deep fake.
We're going to enter into some realms.
Some deep fake realms.
Some deep realms of fakery.
The deepest
When
fakes.
truth becomes fiction, when the hunter becomes the hunted.
Huntress.
When your ex-girlfriend becomes said huntress. Hey, is that me? I never did that. What's this video? Shh. It's 5G.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy anniversary.
That is quite the achievement.
Absolutely bonkers achievement. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too. Thank you to everyone who has listened. Thank you to those who have take a moment and not to belittle in any way those of you who are newer to the show, but some of you that have been here since the early days. That is the
pre-chat GPT days.
I would say that pre-chat. I would say pre-Dolly people only. This applies to no, but that is a significant
monumental
chunk of time that we have shared.
Yeah,
you and I.
Yes,
that we have shared collectively as the Yeah Dude community, the creators and the listeners, or whatever you want to call it. But it is
community.
Quite a chunk.
So many zeros and so many ones. Out in this
ether space.
Isn't that the truth?
But thank you to everybody. Thank you to Seth. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary. Here's to, 17 more. Sure. It doesn't sound that weird.
It doesn't sound that crazy at this point.
Terrifying, but not that weird.
Righteous.
Yeah, but quite something. It's lovely. It's one of the few lovely things that I can think of, really. at the moment in my
It's
life.
really though. Really.
So mad at so many people.
It's so many people, so many things, so many institutions. It's institutions, really.
Yeah.
The nature of institutions you're furious at
Currently.
currently. But something like this allows you to come here, unwind, ramp up,
Remember.
unleash, let go.
Yeah.
You be here now within laughter.
Yes.
'Cause all we have is episode 966 of UhhYeahDude.
Or just this
That's all we have
right now. Just this card.
I mean, we can tell you what we don't have or what you will not have.
What I won't be allowed to have.
What I will not allow you to have, even when you're like, I have to have it. Having already had
Does
it.
it say Bob Marley on it?
Yeah.
And I'm not allowed to have it?
Nope.
But you've had it. That means it can't be anything cool because you
If
don't
I
do
did it,
anything.
Opening day. Oh, wait a minute.
It
Okay.
doesn't get you high
So
or
you-
drunk.
All right. You weren't
or
high or
anything.
drunk, and you did it opening
And it's
day.
called Bob Marley.
And it cost money. Burned at the stake. I'm like a Salem witch walking these streets.
What is
They're all
this
coming
photo op you got sucked into?
Bob Marley, The One Love Experience. First in London, then in Toronto, now in Los Angeles.
in what was
It's gonna be
what was
amazing.
the former what?
gonna be
yes, Tender Greens in
Totally,
Glendale or
like
something.
Johnny Rockets and like Sherman Oaks. An abandoned at Hollywood and Highland Complex, an abandoned Sephora.
Yeah, they just
Step into this.
We just finished filming a Tim and Eric skit in here,
Yeah.
and now we're gonna
Come on
move this
in.
thing in.
So, what I read about it is that they have the entire collection from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The entire Bob Marley collection from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland is in this exhibit. It's been loaned,
Which is
this exhibit.
it
Well,
doesn't make that clear.
What it turns out is literally like a ticket stub from the Kaya tour, like under glass, and then 100 people are just staring at it, except no people because I'm like
Opening
have my
everything.
time ticket, there early, unfolding 6 out of my jacket, 6 pages of supposed to have a smartphone, but I've got 6 pages of barcodes and here's my paperwork and ID, debit card. I'm 45 minutes early. Is that yeah? Come into the first thing I see is a couple, peace signing it up with a neon peace sign that you put on as a photo. I was like, oh no.
The first thing.
First thing you
Dog.
you get in there and you piece it out with a big neon
Ringo
Ringo Marley. I was like, fucked. Take a breath. Come in here. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be all right. It's a step inside Bob Marley's music, life, and passion. I want to step into that.
So it's like his old apartment.
I want to step into his old apartment in Kingston. I didn't step into that. What I did step into was a person being like, the ganjas from Kingston, come on in. And walked into a room
Dispensary?
that was AstroTurf and fake trees with a fake lit joint and then just pictures on the wall
Of weed?
of Bob Marley at different times smoking a spliff.
What are you talking about?
This is an entire room of this exhibit. Hey, welcome. Kingston's known for its climate, for the ganja. Are you ready to come on in, ganja boy? I was like, this is
we're
real?
in California,
This is
right?
real? Just a room of fake plants and trees.
But
and
but
three-
fake weed
No,
plants?
yes, just fake weed plants, fake. And then another photo op, come on here, and this one's like, Doobie Patrol. Now it's like...
You're making this up.
not.
You're making
I was getting angrier
Doobie
and angrier. There's a picture of Bob Marley on stage looking fucking impeccable. Denim
Canadian
shirt
tuxedo.
with crazy, and I was like, then next to it is a frame. I'm like, oh well, that's dope. That's his. Oh, that's a reproduction. Oh, that's okay. So it's not even the. Okay, so you have a picture of him performing. That's not the denim shirt that he wore on that
just
picture.
a denim shirt.
It's a denim shirt. It's a denim shirt. Walk into another room. There's foosball and ping pong. And
Like all the stuff he liked to play.
he loved to play it. So I'm like, oh well, this is his. This is his. No, it's not.
This is just what
This
these
is the foosball
things
table.
are.
This is what they are. Seth, this is a ping pong table. Bob Marley loved ping pong. Look, there's a picture of him playing there.
Smoking a ganja
Smoking
joint.
ganja, Ganja Doob? You know Ringo Marley? Peace, peace, peace. $46.
Suck my
Suck-
dick.
Such a loser. Burned. Opening day. Literally, I went around like, where is the
Bob
rock?
Marley.
Well, right here.
Where's Bob
This
Marley?
is the ticket stub from the Kaya tour. There's no, like, what else is there?
There was more at whatchamacallit, the whatever, the Rock and Roll Experience or whatever.
Oh, like at the LA Live at the Grammy Museum?
No,
Or,
the
like,
one. What am I thinking of?
What are you thinking
The
of?
Rock and Roll Museum.
Where? In another city?
Yeah, the crazy one. What the fuck is wrong with me? I can't remember every place
It's
I've been
that
anymore.
Ganja Doob.
Bro,
I mean, this was Then there's
guitars? Any nothing? No. No.
Well, there was like
This is a company they do all of them. Have you not done the research to figure out who this is that's doing this? LA.
All I knew was
It's the same people that are doing Van Gogh.
when I was reading that they had, I just was like, entire collection pictures. Everybody in like London, everyone's. I was like, this is going to be amazing. What is this? Oh, get ready. If your mind has not been blown, get ready to step into here. Well, they were like, put these headphones on. It's a silent disco. We're going to listen to Bob Marley songs. Now, when everyone's grooving, you can groove out. Feel free to groove out as well. But the three other people but the people that are there are just like, grooving out to the silent disco headphones.
Americans?
Get ready. Get those headphones. You're about to have your mind blown when you step into this room. You know who Mr. Brainwash is? I was like, yeah, and what the fuck does he have to do with this? Get ready to get brainwashed. And then it's just the worst art. Mr. Brainwash broke 100 vinyl records. And look at this collage. I was like, I guess it's
But what does he have to do with... They got him to do... So it's him.
It's like...
No,
because he has his own... He opened up
another,
his own
I know.
like art museum, which was where the Paley Center for Media was, which was like... Could go like a real place where I'm going to go watch like Steve McQueen, like live television appearances from the 50s. Not anymore because they're in an office in Culver City and the collection is on the third floor in an attic at the Beverly Hills Library because the museum shut down. So he took it over so he could fucking spray paint like dog shit on a canvas and charge like $50,000. So it's just bad Bob Marley art for 3 more rooms, all done by Mr. Brainwash.
Like stencil art.
Stencil bullshit. Yeah. Like BM. That stands for
Bowel Movement.
Bob Marley.
Shit,
I fucked up. Money. I was like, I'm going to ask for my money back.
Oh my God.
I got to exit through the gift shop because that's how they play you.
That's how he does.
And when I saw someone spend $412, I was like, oh, everyone is having because everyone's in there was having the greatest experience of their entire lives. We're jamming. People were just like singing to themselves. Oh, be like dancing. The greatest experience of their lives. And I was like, if I go up and I'm like, this was the worst thing that's ever.
This is the most un-Irie experience
I've. Un-Irie moment of my life. I hate to have to do this. So I was standing there.
I want my money back.
I must leave.
I need money back.
And I watched this couple. They spent $400, books, sweatshirts. I was like, oh, they're gonna.
Okay, but what is?
It's the Bob Marley One Love experience.
But who? What is the merch is made?
Oh, it's just.
Is it that? Is it the Bob Marley experience merch, or is it?
Oh yeah, it's not.
Is it like Bob Records or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
there was some.
But most of it is like mugs
and
and shit by these people.
Like pencils and mugs and yeah.
So they pay a licensing fee.
Yeah, which is
probably a lot of money.
Dude, it was a $46 ticket. I was like, I have to ask for my money back. This is I can't. I won't be able to. And I'm standing there when I saw that dude take his debit card out. I was like, this guy just spent another $400. They're gonna kick rocks. Get out of here.
It's so funny.
So bad.
It's
such a bad experience.
What a bad Bob Marley.
What a bad unlove experience. The no love experience.
Unlove.
It's amazing how they do it. But then you double back. I hit the Academy Museum for free on Free Museum Sunday. Hit that shit right when they open. Run right into that Godfather exhibit. And I'm like, oh, well, so there are like, things can be done properly. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the desk that my boy Marlon Brando sat at.
But that's not a money grab.
That's not a money grab, I guess, because it's a museum. It's not an Instagram. Because every room had a little area for
Pieces.
for
Ringos.
Ringos.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's the hustle.
But the people were thinking,
how old are these people?
young people,
So there's people
older
that don't
people.
know shit.
but older people.
Older people that don't know shit
Like,
either.
I think a couple on a date, and the guy like telling the
Like,
woman
but
how he
could-
listened to like Legend in college and how much he. I was just
right, like,
this is disgusting.
Just like dweebs and stuff.
is
But then,
awful.
like, what about like
What about like the
Americans
money?
though?
Yeah,
Tourists, not LA natives.
I don't know. Hollywood and Highland, so they could have stumbled in.
That's what I mean. Like, they are placed sort of. That is a tourist trappy kind of
To
place.
just be like, oh, Bob Marley, and this is
and also,
amazing.
if you're a tourist in California from a place where weed isn't legal, you're already swept up into the like Ja Rastafari of it all.
So
So
you
then,
think-
like a Bob Marley museum, like
we did
you're
the
already
greatest-
stoned and duped. Of course, you're having the best time of your
yeah,
life.
we just went to the greatest experience, one love experience.
We had the most.
Have to move to LA. It's so
we're
cool
moved,
there.
we
I had
went.
an
They have a
amazing
Bob Marley
experience.
museum there.
Seth loved it. Things can be done right.
Yeah,
Things can be done wrong.
absolutely.
Oh my God.
I've.
Burned.
Let's say I have a fair amount of experience with both.
Samantha's just like, you know what it is? It's like, your problem is because you have to, if you
You
had
can't-
just waited a weekend, it's going to be there, but you have to fucking.
What would What would waiting a weekend have solved?
Anybody maybe, I just read.
You wouldn't have listened?
You're right.
You don't listen, right? I mean, you don't. How many people? If
Yes,
if I went there, if I had DJ'd like the opening, and I'm like, Seth, don't go to this. It sucks. You wouldn't go,
No,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
It's basically you. You had to have.
I have to
Fuck,
go.
what
You
is-
have to
yeah.
make me go.
You got to go DJ the opening party and then let me know.
But
That's why I got to get you down to Coachella and Stagecoach to DJ a party.
But you know what I mean? Like, how many people? Where would you have caught that info
Totally.
to not go? To
I
that?
only got the information of like, you must go because everything's a dupe. Because everybody's in on it. Everywhere you read it, it's there to sell it. Every
Right.
magazine, every show, it's there.
It's paid
all
promotion.
It's all a big dupe to get to
Seth.
burn me, to
Get
burn
Seth.
Seth.
Even the guy talking about listening to Legend, he works in the. He's
Yeah,
there.
it's
He
like-
works there.
Remember, it's the Truman Show. It's the Roma Show. Oh man, in college, yeah, we just listened to Legend.
Right, Seth? I mean,
Oh, shit. Right, Sally? First date, Sally? Fuck. Like, net goes on me like, oh,
drug 'em.
ganja net. Like, yeah, man, the climate of Kingston, man.
Ideal.
It's ideal for the
Who is that person? Is this the tour guide?
people. Yeah, they're getting me.
They have
so
like different
excited. Hey, welcome.
But
sure.
were they like Rastas?
Hey, man. Yeah, it's not illegal, man.
I know, but were they Rastas?
No, it's just like white dudes talking.
But like that?
Like that in my mind. So I'm like, so there's just like pictures of Bob Marley enjoying marijuana. Cool. Not saying that's not cool. I mean, I'm not for $46. See a picture of Bob. Oh, that's a guy who smokes weed. He's little. Cool.
Oh god.
Yeah, he loves soccer. That's a soccer net. Literally. There's a soccer net. That was his? No.
No.
That's from
Wanna
Big
kick?
Five Sporting Goods.
You want to kick that
You
soccer?
want to? You can't. There's no ball. You ever seen football? They call it football. Aye, right, man. They had a different name for it, man. What?
AMC Theaters has introduced a new pricing program offering cheaper seats for movie fans who don't mind sitting in the front row in a latest attempt to increase attendance and profit after COVID-19 pandemic. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the U.S.'s biggest cinema circuit said that its new pricing initiative called Sightline will be expanded to all its domestic locations by year end, including dine-in cinemas after having already rolled out at some of the AMC theaters. The price of a quote-unquote standard seat in an auditorium is not changing. But at showings after 4 p.m., so-called value sightline seats that are located in the auditorium's front row will be cheaper.
Cairo seats.
The program excludes Tuesdays when AMC runs another discount program. Only members of AMC's Stubbs loyalty program will have access to the discounted seats.
You gotta be a Stubbs member, dog.
Those who want the best seats will have to pay a premium for preferred seats, typically in the middle of the auditorium. They will cost more than the standard seats. Exact price details were not disclosed. The new pricing scheme is yet another attempt by a major movie chain to lure patrons back into theaters in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and horrendous movie making, while making more money from the most enthusiastic moviegoers.
Enthusiastic.
So you would certainly constitute an enthusiastic moviegoer.
Love to get to this.
Are you a member of any major theater retailers' loyalty programs?
Do not play that game.
Well, did you even do it at ArcLight?
No.
ArcLight was so good.
Did they have a good one?
Oh my God!
The Stubbs one's not that cost effective.
You would just get. You would just. I mean, because the tickets were so expensive, and you just get points, and you just get free popcorn and free soda, and it was just like I would only do.
You know what I mean? I don't
do that.
I also don't sit in the front row at movies because I'm fucking crazy, but like, come on. So we've now taken movies and we're now...
I can only think of one movie I ever sat in the front row for.
What was that? Debbie Does Dallas. Because I wanted to be in the action.
I saw it with Allie Sage and...
What state?
I
need a state and a year.
It would have been in Agoura. In Agoura Hills.
Agoura, California.
Agoura, California. We would have been
Is this a date?
too young to get into this particular film.
Okay.
I'm going to say we were not driving age.
Okay.
So 14, maybe. 13, 14,
late
somewhere
80s?
in there. 14. And we got into...
91?
Well, you know what? I just find out when the movie came out, and then you know exactly what year it was, right?
Oh, do you know the movie?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What movie?
I'll
tell you what.
Saving it.
Okay.
Because you're gonna.
Erotic thriller, romantic comedy, action adventure.
It was in 1990. So she and I get into.
How do you get there?
We get dropped off by either her parents or my parents. Okay. I am in love with this girl.
Well, of course you are. You guys are
She's
soulmates.
my Anyway.
My ride
But
or die.
we were homies. This was not a maybe it was romantic. It should have been. Fuck. I fucked up.
Fuck.
So we sneak into the movie theater, and we sneak into the theater, and it is fucking packed. And so we get down to the first row.
Sneak in, pay for another movie, and then sneak into an R-rated movie.
Or we just bought tickets for an R-rated movie, and the person didn't fuck with us.
Okay.
I think that's what happened.
They used to fuck with you. They used to... When I was like a teenager, they took that
shit
didn't
like
fuck
dead
with,
serious. I don't think they fucked with
Maybe
us.
That was Massachusetts shit.
No.
California.
No. Absolutely. But I think we just walked up and we're gonna see this adult ass movie, and go in, but it was packed, and so we because we were young and weren't oh fuck this, we just strong arm it down to the front row, sit in the front row. Movie was called Wild at Heart.
Wow, that's way too much thematically for you at that age. Or is it? Bring it. There's some scenes
I remember Sherilyn Fenn at one point in that car accident. Is that Wild at Heart or is that Blue Velvet?
I don't...
No, that's Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
They get to a car scene and she's crashed the car and her brains have fallen out of her head and she's still alive. And I remember you don't understand how the hots I had for this girl would physically make me, as a child up until, I mean, I don't think we knew each other. I mean, we continue to know each other, but not live next door to each other and stuff like much longer past this. But up until this point, from like 9 to now, I've been in love with this girl, basically. Yeah. And so, I mean, the amount of nerves I have, because if I recall correctly, this is the first time that she and I have like gone out at night together to like an R-rated movie.
An event.
Like this is like the most.
This is what adults do.
This is the most romantic thing she and I have ever done together. We have never done anything else.
Like pizza in the middle
so
of the day.
I am already like high nerves, and this movie is psycho. That is It is a crazy fucking movie.
That's a lot of hot sexual energy.
It was
coming from the front row
I don't
and to the screen.
believe we made it through the entire film. I think it got too weird, and we were like, we should go.
We're too young for this.
I think we're too young for this. Let's walk out of here.
I know the feeling, baby.
Anyway.
Young love. Tried to get into that Fatal Attraction when that shit came out. That wasn't easy. You got to earn that shit.
I think I like had to make I was like, you have to take me to see this movie because like
well,
I can't get
10. That's like you can't see that at 10. Come on. I think I'm fucking this elevator. I'm 10 years old. Yeah. Cheat on your wife and fuck her in that freight elevator. I'm 10.
Thanks for taking me to see this,
hey,
Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Good film, right? What the fuck?
Wait, is Fatal Attraction Sharon Stone?
Fatal Attraction is Glenn Close.
Oh, I never saw it
because
it was too. Basic Instinct. I think I made a parent take. I made my dad take me to it. I was like, Dad, you gotta take me to see this.
77, you would be 91. You would have been 14. That's okay.
Okay, let me see this.
I heard that she. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Fatal Attraction. My parents saw, and I remember it like they didn't. They did like they were like, you cannot see this. No,
Fatal Attraction's 87. Basic is 91, but. Check because
I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna check.
I'm getting. I'll tell you another thing they didn't have in 87, 91, or 2006.
87.
87 was Fatal Attraction, and 91 was Basic Instinct.
I don't even need to look.
Yeah.
92.
92. Ah, see, you do got to look. Thank you. So you would have been 15. Totally appropriate.
To go with your mom.
To go with Mom and Dad. Michael Douglas in a, like deep V sweater. 92, Joe Esterhaus. Cheerios. It's been around since before we started this podcast. What about this limited edition? And they've got a lot of funky flavors. I was up on that website and things you didn't like, apples and peanut butter and things that just aren't Cheerios.
I had a new one recently.
Heart healthy Cheerio. Have you had the frosted lemon?
No, but I had a frosted.
See, I think you'd like this. This is why I say, like, I could picture you housing a couple bowls of frosted lemon Cheerios in the studio. We need a break from making those fucking break beats.
So it's just like yellow Fruit Loops. Just only yellow Fruit Loops.
It's basically a yellow Fruit Loop, but it's healthy. It's a Cheerio. It's heart healthy. Doctor, it's heart healthy.
Get away from me.
Get away from me. You said to eat Cheerios because they're heart healthy.
Me.
Get your fucking hands off this spoon.
It's a custard flavor.
A big custard spoon. Deep.
It's wonton spoon. Yeah, I got recently. I saw that they had frosted ones, and I was like, okay, so what? This is Frosted Flakes as Cheerios. I was like, I have to try this
shit.
I'm going to Japan for the first time in my life.
That's gonna happen. Oh, you're gonna get all the flavors.
I'm tripping on
get,
I gotta
cherry blossom Kit Kats and fucking.
I don't know what's gonna go down.
You're gonna go beverage loco.
It's gonna be crazy.
Oh my lord!
I know.
Strawberry ginseng 7-Up. Like
it's gonna be like I mean, it's stupid to be that excited for that, but I'm so excited. I hope everything goes well and safe and all that. I hope it happens. Whatever.
Yeah.
Assuming we get there, the idea that I am as excited for as many other things, but that I am equally as excited for the beverage and like candy snack game,
chip game.
I'm like, I'm pumped.
You're gonna walk into a Tokyo market. Oh my God! When they see you walk in, they're gonna just be like.
But there's like places there's markets that are like 7 stories that are open 24 hours a day that you can just stay in for as long as you want.
Chips on one,
just
like
chips,
Kit Kats on a
drinks.
This is the Kit Kat floor. God, you're gonna be losing your mind. when you get that Japanese license and you're driving, trying to fit into a car and just driving.
Fuck,
Give me something.
man. All right. I started this, didn't I? Or did I finish it? That's it. I finished it. Small team of researchers from the New York Institute of Technology College of Osteopathic Medicine, working with one colleague from the Cahuita Sloth Sanctuary in Costa Rica, and another from Youngstown State University, has
Coalition of researchers
has found that the brown-throated sloth has a very powerful grip. In their paper published in the Journal of Zoology, the group describes how they measured the grip strength of several sloths and what they found by doing so.
Tell me more.
Grip.
Gotta measure that grip strength.
So sloths are known for moving very slowly, which prior research has shown is a means for surviving on a diet of nothing but tree leaves. Prior research has shown also that sloths spend most of their existence hanging from tree limbs, though not always in the same way. A sloth can hang using any one of its paws, or by using a combination of them. They hold on tight even when sleeping, and in this new study, the researchers sought to learn more about the grip strength in one type of sloth, the brown-throated sloth. Now, a brown-throated... I don't know if I can do this.
You can do it.
The brown-throated sloth is similar in size and weight to other sloths.
Yeah, I knew that.
And lives in forested parts of Central and South America. Now, these sloths also have 4 limbs, described as arms, which each with 3 fingers and long claws.
I can picture it. I can see him, yeah.
To
Adorable.
determine the strength of the sloth's grip, the researchers built and used a support device with a pair of semicircular prisms up top and a medium load force plate on the bottom. 5 individual sloths were tested. Reviewing their data, the researchers found that the sloth grip is approximately twice that of humans and many other primates. They also found that the sloths were capable of holding more than 100% of their own body weight with just one hand.
You have to.
The researchers were also surprised to discover that sloths all demonstrated left-handedness.
Interesting.
On average, there was a 16% difference in strength between left and right grip strength, most particularly in their hands. The researchers acknowledged that they may have erred in their measurement approach. The sloths may have chosen to ease up to mollify the researchers before they used their full strength. The researchers also acknowledge that there have been instances where sloths have been found hanging from a limb with their skin torn from their bodies by a predator.
Okay, that's
So they can stay holding on while they get
being
ripped.
torn off. That's a terrible way to end that beautiful. I was imagining they're so cute and hanging.
You
But
see
then there was just a bunch of nude sloths gripping the fuck out of a tree trunk. Ah! Moving slow, yelling slowly and painfully. Yeah, but that's a good study. They built monkey bars, sloth bars, had them get on it, hang from it. I would imagine an animal that spends its entire day just with one hand posted, hanging for 9 hours. I would imagine would have a good core, hand grip, definitely. I don't know if they're going to do core strength next. Put them through like a series of like Tabata ab exercises.
But imagine if you
but when
could.
They said, you think that
Imagine if you could just, if you were like
watching TV,
and you could just completely hang with one of your limbs,
like Alex Honnold,
any one of them, from just casually
at a
kick
time.
it, like
eating plants,
yeah.
then your grip strength. I don't know how they're testing it. Yes, but also that they think that they might have tricked him and not shown their full. They should have given
They're
them
just
those like
being polite.
those 80s fucking.
They don't think they gave it the full strength. 'Cause I think sloths are polite.
They're very polite.
Zen, even.
So you think that they just showed him like, I'm gonna show him what this hand does.
I know what you're
But
trying
I
to.
know
But
what
I'm not trying to show off.
I see this
I'm just
elaborate set that you
just gonna let you know that I got a stronger grip
Crazy
than any
strong.
primate, but I'm not gonna give you more than that.
But if you weren't a dumbass, you just look up and say, that thing's been hanging for 12 hours. That's a pretty strong grip. So, yeah, in the fucking studio, I can straight kick it in your lap. Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
So cool.
It's so beautiful. Is really
Except
what
for
it
that
is.
little end part.
The end part was a little bit of a nature, but nature always gets ugly like that.
It was just a reminder that nature is
cruel.
Is
Cruel
both.
mistress.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Look at the hummingbird, and then you're like, oh, it's pouncing on that poor dead animal. It's getting the weak one. I don't like that shit. And it makes me nervous when the dudes that love that kind of shit, they love to watch that. And they, you know what I mean? Get it. Get it. Get it.
Do they?
Yeah, you
Who?
know.
Who do you hang out with that
I just know that I know those dudes.
gets pumped?
They get pumped. Get it. Get it.
I don't.
Get it.
I'm always rooting for the one to
No,
get away,
that's
of
you.
course.
The rest of them are all rooting for him to get
The
it.
rest of them.
Get him. Got him. Oh, he got him. Yeah.
But then what if that thing that's got him is about to die? Or it's like got a starving baby. I mean, you have to root for that one.
No, because then another one comes in. They're like, get a bigger one. Get him. Get him. And it's a cycle of just getting them.
So you can never root for the hunter, no matter what.
Yeah, you always.
No matter what. No matter what the reason
you've
for the
created,
hunting.
like a scenario. Where
I'm saying it's a mother hunter. Her starving cubs are sitting
okay.
in the thing, and you're watching that nature doc, and you know I'm watching her chase this thing down, this child molesting monkey.
That's it. You got to let me know
pedophile
this
monkey, man.
already like fucked up some tourists in a rude way.
Then you got
Went
to.
above and beyond and fucking them up. You're right. Okay. If you can create, but you got to Attenborough me. You got to get me. You got to sell it. I need a backstory.
Before I'm rooting.
Oh, well, let me show. They cut to.
You didn't see what this
like,
fucker did
cut to
the other night.
2006. What this fucking monkey did. Sneaking in.
But,
sneaking into a bar in the town.
Like I always get fucked up with like the polar bears because they're so brutal and they only kill like the cutest things in the world, like seals and shit.
like-
But then you see the polar bears starving to death,
Like
and you're
when-
like, "Where's
when
a
you see
fucking
that-
seal when you
Yeah,
need it?"
That
Like
one polar bear floating on that one piece
you're
of
like,
ice.
get this thing a seal. Like I would love for you to find a seal right
Too
now.
late, dog. They're like houses are gone. They're just like alone on a tiny piece of ice, just like, please get colder, please get colder, please get colder. But as you can see, it's like the sun is like beating down on
like
it,
a little,
melting.
little palm.
Seals are just
growing
giving
out.
him the finger, like, yeah. Why is there a sunflower growing out of the middle of this fucking ice patch? Welcome. There was a massive fire at the Hillendale Farms in Bozrah, Connecticut.
What's a Hillendale? Is that a brand?
Hillendale is what I'll tell you what they got. They had about 100 firefighters from several different departments in the area. They showed up because there was 100,000 hens were egg-laying hens were
There
in
we
a
go. That's why I know them.
enormous facility. 100,000 hens in this. I mean, it was pretty huge facility. Saw a picture of it. Only problem with the facility is it was completely
Illegal.
engulfed, illegal, immoral, and engulfed in flames. Wicked bad.
With the chickens in them, the hens
Hey,
inside of the
Listen.
burning
cause
structure.
of the blaze unknown. According to, but I don't want you to start worrying about people getting all upset about like eggs and like prices and shortages. The United States Department of Agriculture statistic report from late last year, 2022, said that there in the United States, there's more than 372 million egg-laying hens currently laying in the U.S. So the impact of 100,000 going up in this little fire, it's minimal. It's 0.03% of the. So when you're standing there watching 100,000 hens be like, oh, I don't know what they sound. What is it? Like
I think they
this.
sound like
Oh, times 100,000. Oh, don't worry.
it's just
It's
Point
0.03%
of our current.
of our current fucking flavor profile. One more time. What's that sound? It's a hen on fire.
It's Sounds like several.
Oh, sounds like 100,000. Terrible sound. Nightmare sounds. If you were
Never drink it off your mind after you hear
you
it.
could never in a million years omelet that out of your mind. If you happen to be walking past
100,000.
100,000. People like burn, burn, burn.
So we don't have to worry about egg prices
Don't
going
worry
up.
about your prices going up from Bozeman, Connecticut,
Phew.
because that is 0.03%. We've got 372 million hens.
That's a lot of hens.
But those could go up at any minute. That blaze was unknown.
So that's
Could be a real sicko.
wait, in America?
In the United States.
So how many hens is that per person?
Well, there's probably about 372 million people, give or take. Everybody got their own hen, baby.
And to each of them, a hen.
And to each of children or adult or person shall be a hen. So loud, though.
When it's 100,000.
Because that's just me doing my Foley
Impression.
of one. You have to, in your mind's eye.
Imagine that 100,000
You have to
times,
magnify
but in
that
the wild.
100,000 times outside. Terrible, 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 terrible.
Bone-chilling sound.
It is. It is.
Sticks with you.
Don't think that anybody got that upset, though, really.
I mean,
Because they're probably just like chopping it up, watching it burn. And they were like, what are you going to do? You know? Somebody was like, guys, I'm on Department of Agriculture. He was yelling because he was like yelling.
0.3? No.
No. 0.0. I can't hear you. It's 0.03%. I can't hear you, Bob. Hey, guys, don't worry. It's minimal. The prices won't go up. And then everybody went at omelets and just like danced at the breakfast table, pushing omelets around, different styles, Western
omelets. Denver omelets.
Bozeman omelets.
Yeah, I guess we.
Hey, life goes on, baby. You know, what are you gonna do? You know, we live, we learn. We laugh,
But
we love.
that's only the egg-laying hens.
Just the hens.
That's just the hens.
Not the cocks, not the
That's
roosters.
400 million just hens.
Solely existing for Denver. I think 100 million for Denver. 100 million for
Ham.
Western.
For Western.
Hammond. Well, that could have been it. What if that particular, those 100,000 were strictly like Western hens and all the firefighters were like, that's what I eat.
That's what I get.
Oh! So there was the screams of 100,000 hens and 100 firefighters. And it was just like the cacophony of like, ah! I was a child when I saw this. I was just a child. And so it fucking fucked me up. It's the screams at night, Clarice. That's what I hear. It's the silence of the lambs, bro.
My dad lived next to a slaughterhouse growing up.
That'll fucking,
That puts something
put the
in
fear
you.
of God in you.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Just all night long.
I'm very good.
Tex.
I'm very good at. I'm one of the
Foley.
best. I'm one of the best Foley. I'm
Farm.
one of the best killed farm animal
Agricultural.
agricultural death
Foley.
Foley artists in Hollywood. That's a
You know what that
early
is.
'60s Nolans
He saw No Country for
caucus house. We called him. Yeah, welcome to the caucus house, La Roca.
Texas is one of the worst states in the country when it comes to cigarette smoking, according to the American Lung Association. In its new State of Tobacco Control report, the advocacy group gives Texas, along with Alabama, Mississippi, and North Carolina, failing grades on every category that the report tracks. Now, those categories are funding for tobacco prevention programs, strength of smoke-free workplace laws, the level of state tobacco taxes, and coverage and access to services in order to quit tobacco, and ending the sale of all flavored tobacco products.
What states?
Texas,
Okay.
Alabama,
Yeah.
Mississippi,
He says they do.
and North Carolina.
Okay. In the mix. Tobacco. And that's tobacco farms. That's traditional.
That's tobacco farm, and exactly. I mean, that's some good
Those some smoking states.
smoking country.
That's smoking country. You know, when I'm out in Odessa, I'm in the middle of nowhere, just me and my maker.
Smoking a grit.
I'm gonna have some baked beans. I'm also gonna have me a smoke. Is that okay with you? Or is this communist Russia?
I'm gonna drink a couple in the car.
I'm gonna drink a couple beers in the car.
Well, so fucking what?
Yeah, I would imagine that tracks, in anything like that. It's gonna be in the mix right there. But that's I thought that was phasing out. I thought we just
Well, sure, but I mean, it's gonna die the hardest in the
right
places
there,
where it's
like when
I mean,
people are
the
like,
livelihood is there.
the people that have been doing it the longest are reaching that point of like.
And the people that have also benefited from it the most as well.
I like the cheap smokes when it's like the area code of whatever the state is, like that. That's my kind of smoke.
I
don't know if they all have that.
I've never
but
seen. I don't know if I've seen those.
Yeah, you've ever seen those? Like it's
I'm not
like
sure. That's sick though.
Yeah, that's sick.
The
That's
ones
a
I
good
see
smoke.
a lot of in my area that I never caught were all the reservation native cigs companies that produce. I don't know why, but they
Wow.
show up in other than native casinos. They show up at other places
Interesting, like
down in the
convenience
desert.
stores and
yeah,
shit?
and they're
That's cool.
I've only had one pack and they were gross, but that was at the casino. But I've seen them coming. They get delivered to a couple of the tobacco shops and stuff as well. But there's quite a few brands.
Yeah, I like a real just like brown. I want a very simple pack. I want it to be brown. Have just maybe the area code of where I'm smoking it, or
My mom worked at a tobacco factory, cigarette factory, when she was young. The Player Cigarette Company, which made
Very
quite
cool.
a few cigarette brands, but I don't know if it's the same. I don't know what the checks and balances or what the reporting that's required on this is nowadays. But most of those ones you're talking about, the area code ones, GPC, which was the generic brand that we used to smoke in Arizona, which we used to say stood for "gonna produce cancer."
Oh, that's awesome. It did, and you were right.
All those brands, the generic brand that Player Cigarettes sold, I can't remember what it was called, but at the end of the day, basically the cigarettes, different companies would, different phases of the day, that it'd all be Nat Sherman's or all be whatever the fuck. Player Cigarettes, which had several brands, would do it, and at the end of the day, on the conveyor belt, as the cigarettes are getting made, all the tobacco would kind of pile up and then kind of overflow and fall onto the ground. And at the end of the shift, they would have these large push brooms, and they would just push all of the tobacco that had fallen off of the conveyor belts into these massive piles, and that pile would then go into the generic brand cigarettes.
Amazing.
That was the policy. So generic cigarettes were just the refuse of other cigarettes,
The weed store,
but
we'd
mixed
take all
with
the shake, and we'll roll out the pre-rolls for $5.
But I mean, I'm sure that that's not okay now. You don't get to push broom the dust. But I mean, if you think about that, the same company that used to be able to do that is now making the same cigarette, but under new laws, but in the same factory.
Yeah.
Just remember where the mentality it was at, that they've had to make these accommodations to, concessions that, I mean,
to the woke mob.
to this no, but I'm saying I'm mad. Yes, that too. But the idea that there was some type of complete revolution or overhaul in the methodologies. I mean, they've only done the bare minimum to make that okay. All that means is they catch it before it hits the floor now or whatever. But
I love that big pile, and then the kids could come in and first be in New England,
roll
you jump
around
on the
in
leaves.
it,
You
yeah.
gotta roll around in it.
yeah,
I'm a tobacco baby. My mama used to work and just roll in it. Boy, you stink like fucking tobacco.
You've been at the factory.
Yeah, that's what they say to me in school. Boy, you been smoking? And I'd have a little grin, maybe.
But
yeah, not good because you're dealing with, if you got all those states and all the people that are in their like 60s, 70s, 80s that have been smoking forever, that's tough.
well, they ain't
Tough breathing.
they're just gonna. I mean, they're not gonna. Those people die out, and they'll just smoke until they can't. And
Okay.
but then, I mean, is that culture? Pass that on to obviously. I mean, if the numbers, that would mean younger people there are also smoking
Yeah.
more than regular other younger people, right? I mean,
I guess. I mean, the numbers
Or
have
is
to
it
have
just-
dropped.
they have to have dropped, but are they
But-
still higher?
I hope so. I mean, I hope not.
Or is it just that there's so many OG smokers that just haven't quite died yet, that are
Yeah.
all just gonna all die of lung cancer in like the
within
next
3 weeks. Oh, did you hear what happened?
They all started at the
In
same
like
time.
August of 2023, like 300,000 people like all died in a week.
Um,
Oh, give me that.
give you
'Cause that's
that.
on the keeping with these are technological
Give you this.
changes that things we didn't have.
Well, there's quite a bit of
Not in 87, not in 92, not in 2006, not in 2022.
Google recently unveiled a research publication on Music LM. This is a system that can create music of any genre with only a text description. What makes LM special is its vast training database, which consists of over 280,000 hours of music to help with producing music packed with variety and depth. The artificial intelligence system can also blend genres and instruments together, as well as write tracks using abstract ideas that are often hard for computers to understand,
Like love.
or like love mixed with hate.
Love, hate. Thruple. Dirt.
Pod.
Pod. Dogs. Truck.
The technology can create sound based off of humming, whistling, and even
Wow.
a description of a painting. Users can also switch the
My
feature.
favorite songs. Ones that are based off descriptions of paintings. My
I
favorite
don't know why that's
banger.
my favorite.
My favorite banger.
Users can also switch the feature into story mode, where they are able to stitch together several descriptions and create a soundtrack of a DJ set. Where you do this? Where?
I think on the internet, maybe. Something with the internet. Something with your laptop.
I've heard some bad AI music.
You've heard some bad real music made by real humans.
Mostly, I would say.
So- Question is, if I played you 2 tracks, could you tell me? I know it hasn't caught up with poetry yet because we've read your poetry. Do not know if it's caught up with music yet. A lot of nervous songwriters in Nashville right now.
I mean, did you listen to these examples at all?
Yeah, they're bad.
A fusion of reggaeton and electronic dance music with a spacey, otherworldly sound.
Oh no, that's
Induces the experience of being lost in space, and the music would be designed to evoke a sense of wonder, awe, and while still being danceable. So that was the caption that they gave it. That was its prompt. Sounds like a mix
Sounds
of
amazing.
reggaeton and electronic
Sounds
dance
amazing.
music. I don't hear otherworldly, at least yet. Spacey.
Yeah. Melodic.
Eh.
Amazing.
This is all it does, I think.
That's all it needs to do.
Don't go nowhere. I think it's.
Yep.
But the thing about it is, every time I do this, it's a different song. No,
Well,
I mean,
The
but
beauty
yes.
of that is that there's not enough music, and so now this way we can have more, and that's awesome.
So, what does this
I
mean?
don't know what it means. All
Well,
of this new technology. What does it mean? What does it mean when a high school student uses a 3D printer to write their term paper that they put into ChatGPT? What does it mean? What does it mean for knowledge? What does it mean for our humanity? What does it mean when I just heard an absolute club banger that I thought for sure had to have been?
No, but I mean, it's something.
It's music.
It is music, right? In assuming that is not
I mean, but the Chainsmokers is music, so
right. Well, exactly. I mean, that there is something more compelling for me personally. I mean, I'd rather listen to the I don't know what the term is, I guess. I'd rather listen to generated music generated by AI with prompts of the kind of music that or the types of sounds that I like to hear or whatever,
yeah.
than listen to shitty music made by shitty people who I don't like and I don't like their taste in music. I mean, that definitely, there's a more appealing,
Okay.
that's more appealing, right? I mean, it doesn't, I like to listen to music because I like the way it sounds when it like vibrates over my body.
Like that.
So,
Like when he was saying nowhere,
doesn't,
was he saying nowhere to go?
I think don't go just yet or something.
Don't
Jonathan
go just
Seth.
Yet. Don't go just yet.
Jonathan Seth.
Can you change it? Like if you don't like the lyric.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
Shit.
I have to pay a lot of money for this copyright here.
I don't think there's no copyright, brother.
Okay.
Unless Google owns it.
Don't go nowhere. Could you change that?
To
Uh,
why would I change it?
don't go beware.
But why am I changing that?
Because you're by changing that lyric,
I'm allowed to sell it.
you're now
It's
yours.
my song.
You made it. It's called "Don't Go
Beware by Jonathan
and
Larroquette.
it just makes you think about like safety and like
And staying
how
at
scary
home.
how staying it in, making more beats and tracks at home.
I guess this is the fucked,
Okay.
but this is always the fucked with musical technology. And the concept is maybe slightly, the scope is much larger with this one. But there have always been things that technologically would require, on top of advanced equipment, or the most advanced equipment at the time, also require musical prowess in order to achieve. And there's always been a resistance when the musical prowess requirement is removed from the ability to generate an end musical product that would be considered something that you made or owned or whatever. That if you can't play it, then how can you say you made it? And that is flawed thinking for sure in its antiquated sort of way, but in something like this that I've spent 20 years figuring out how to emulate sounds that other humans made in the electronic music realm. And now there's something that simply can analyze that and replicate it without any understanding or inherent knowledge, let's say, of what went into making that sound originally. It can just mimic it artificially. It does negate inadvertently all those years that I spent learning how to fake something and mimic that thing in another way.
Just got burned. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere.
Does that make it less worthwhile of a pursuit?
Well, when someone just combines that and the Dolly and the ChatGPT, and they create an episode of this podcast, different voices, and when they feed it 600,000 funny things that have been said, and then change the voices and turn it into a conversation that's an hour long, and we listen to it, we're like, oh, that was like super funny. Then
what?
Then
We can stop.
well, no, then that's when we kill the machines.
If that's what you're waiting for,
It has to happen now.
you're way too late at that
We
point.
can't do it right now.
No, I mean it probably is too late.
Fuck.
What is this thing? I have to figure out what it is that they're using. But there's an album by Mouse on Mars that just came out last year or something. But they're reading some text. But what it's about is that the point in which AI becomes problematic in this, I think it's either a theoretical
Oh, it ain't
extrapolation, or it's some type of sci-fi novel. But the idea that a combination of somehow being that at the point that AI starts being fed human history and science fiction,
Oh boy.
and when it starts understanding the ideas behind science fiction, it will start becoming aware of itself, because that's the first point in which AI begins to be referenced right. And so by becoming aware of itself, it starts realizing that it has options.
Oh, it's in on the joke now.
So if that's the case, then yes, it's too late, because that means all that Ray Bradbury and all that bullshit has been in the fucking cosmos forever. I mean, that means it's more than self-aware.
Shit. Huh?
But the idea that we've created this thing and
Yeah,
then
we did.
somehow made it self-aware.
We didn't.
Exactly. The idea that this thing that we're talking about, that we're tapping into via the internet, was somehow not conscious prior to us being able to tap into it, I think is absurd.
Okay. It's been here. It's always been here. Or have we been here? Has it been here? February 11th, 2023.
Happy anniversary. Happy
anniversary.
Valentine's Day.
It's been an incredible run.
What is Valentine's? It's just sham?
What is it?
Saint Valentine?
Yeah, they're not doing it this year.
Who isn't?
Canceled.
Catholics?
Saint Valentine. Valentine's Day's been canceled this year.
Why?
No, that's what they said on the internet. It's been canceled.
I mean, that's okay with me.
You're off the hook.
No, probably.
966. Please come back for 967.
Please.
It's
the least you could do.
It's been a long beautiful journey, and we thank you very much. You can go to Patreon, Patreon, and that is a place where you can go and say, you know what, I'm gonna help my boys. I'm gonna help them. I'm gonna support them with a little monthly pledge, and that's to say, you know what, guys, you doing this before there were frosted lemon Cheerios.
You're going to be doing it after.
And I want you to do it after they pull that from the shelves
next week
for the event, the April Salmonella event that's going to happen.
Is it that I want to just tap on something, just circle back to something for a second, because I think you are somebody who has a healthy appreciation for human achievement. And I think what we're dealing with right now is the fact that a lot of these end things, these end products, the end results that we would experience as entertainment or art or whatever have always been tethered to a simultaneous human achievement that is occurring at the same time. So this person has become capable of making this great work, and now I'm able to experience that great work. Does the experience of great work lessen for the experiencer when they do not attribute that thing to a human achievement that they somehow identify with, or idolize, or believe that they could maybe one day, whatever it is, without the human element? does it make it less fascinating, or does it make it more fascinating, or does it lessen? Obviously, because what I was thinking about is like, if you could play me an amazing song and told me that a human didn't write it, but I don't give a fuck where the fuck it comes from. I care about music.
I just want to feel it.
Tingle all over my body. But if you walked in and saw a fucking Sony robot knock a fucking baseball out of Fenway Park, you'd be like, I don't give a shit that thing just did that. Neither would I, because you're like, yeah, it's a fucking machine. Like, I don't give a fuck. So what? I guess it's because the art thing becomes this thing where it's like, well, we thought that had something to do with like humans' ability to tap into the cosmos or to tap into something else or whatever, and maybe that takes that sort of maybe destroys that fantasy a little bit or something. But I don't know. Like I'm saying, I don't care where it comes from if you're gonna play me a reggaeton banger. I just want more reggaeton bangers in my life.
The lyrics
and sell it as my own.
And sell it as my own.
Seatbelt.
Seatbelts.